Hey, Fitzy here, back at it again with another one. We're back on them wheel tubs. I'm going to turn around now on this one here. We're going to complete the outer wheel tub on this one here and get that completed. So, stick around. Time to get back at the Toyota. In the last video, I made this inner wheel tub section from the original Toyota wheel tub. I widened it. I extended the actual the mounting flange that goes inside the body. I got it now so that it knows where it's got to go. I knows the direction I'm heading with it all. And I got it all cleaned up and ready. It's not installed yet. What I need to do now is I need to build the outer section of the wheel tub that goes out to the wheel well and goes down. This is the section that's going to seal off and keep any moisture or anything around. Now, a lot of times people just run straight out and they grind off the wheel well and they weld onto it, or they'll urethane it onto the wheel well. I kind of got away from that on the last couple of projects that I did, because I always found that what it ends up doing, it ends up marking your quarter panel here. And sometimes if there's a sudden change in heat or anything like that, it pulls on the quarter panel and it gets wavy and stuff like that. And I never like tampering with welding right to the center of the quarter panel, okay? And what I'm going to do is a little bit different. I'm going to actually put an outer wheel well in this here, and it's going to attach to your original wheel openings. It's going to attach in along here. It's going to be spot welded in along here like it was. It's going to come up like this here, and then go out and attach to the actual, this piece here, the inner section of the wheel well. I'm doing it this way here for a number of reasons. To me, I've always sized up when I worked on a lot of old cars how the original styles were done. And I don't know what it is with me, but I kind of like the way factory wheel wells were done in a car. There were two pieces. There was an outer, there was an inner, and they were joined in the middle. And I'm using the factory Toyota one here to join them in the middle. It's just that the outer one used to roll off. I'm not going to do that because I want lots of tire clearances. I'm just going to go straight out and down, and it's going to mount to that wheel well. So I'm going to haul all this out now and get started on making the outer structure for this wheel well. So I'm in here now, and I got the wheel tub taken out of it. You can see that framework is left inside here. This is the original Toyota wheel tub section here. I just moved it up into the car, and I got it remounted again up high. And so it still retains its factory location where the panel will go in. Now, it had to be a custom panel made, but you can actually mount something to it. And then I continued on. I made pieces that extended on down to here. And you can actually see where it's going to be welded on to the rocker panel itself. Now, the inner section is going to go to here. The outer section is only going to go to here, because I want access to the spring pot from in here. And so this is the reason why I want to do the wheel tub, because usually the wheel, this here will all be covered in, going in through here, and on the back side it's the same thing. This here will only go to here to hide the floor. This section here will be covered in right here. So what I got to do is I got to make a piece that'll go along here, that'll go out to the quarter panel and go this way here. But then I also need a large piece to go here that'll cover all that in, and then I need to make a lip to go in here that I can clamp it on here, and I got spot welded onto here. It'll be up here, it'll go straight up, and it'll be a 90-degree into this here and be welded on. I'm not going to get foolish and try to put a roll or anything in it. It's just more work, and it's really no purpose to it. You'll never see it when it's done. So what I need to do is I need to make a large piece that'll go here. It'll come all the way down to the bottom here and all the way down to the bottom here. Okay? And it'll be welded on here and also back here, this little section here. And then it'll actually be welded on along here. And then the rest of it will just float in there, and it'll be welded to this section here. So what I'm going to do now is I got to figure out, I'm going to make a large piece that'll go in here, and we'll cut out this wheel lip so we can get a piece, the back section laid in place. 24, 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. 34. That piece is going to eat up over a half a sheet. These are not 34 inches wide, they're only 31, I think it is, wide. And it comes over halfway, so I got to cut this off 24 this way, and then that's the 32. So I get that cut out. I'm here now and I got the piece fit in place, put in place, sizing it all up, thinking about the cuts I got to make, where I got to mark it, and I'm going to make a template. I think I'm going to ruin that. If I start trimming it up, I'm going to cut wrong sections out of it. I think if I made that all out of cardboard first, I'll be way better off. I should have done that in the first place. The infamous cardboard template. It beats me again. I don't know what I was thinking, why I did not go that route. I'm here looking at it now and sizing it all up, and I cut a large sheet in half to get a square piece out of it. Sometimes Fitzy doesn't think, okay? I makes mistakes. I am human. Anyway, I turned around and made a template. Shh, don't tell anybody. And I got it laid up in place there, and all I did was I rubbed my hand along the edge of it there to get the entire wheel well set up there. You can see that there now. You see where I rubbed my hand on it? My shadow's in the way. Here you go. You see where I rubbed it? I didn't like it at first. I moved it up and rubbed it again, so got two lines here. I'll take that off now and I'll cut that out, and we'll go for another fit, and we'll just add to it where we need to and remove where we don't. Look, isn't it amazing how nice templates work? So I'm in here now and I got it all trimmed up. Okay, and I got it fitting in place. Now I need to mark the outside edge, and all I did was I took a piece of that scrap. You've probably seen on the edges of that. I holds onto this stuff. These had a bend on the bottom side of it, on the steel. It was a little for the cabinets or whatever they were. And I just holds on to them, but you can use them brackets for anything else. And for this one here, I just use them. I just cut it on an angle that way there, and lay that flat across that there, bring it into it, and hold that flat there, and just scribe it along there. And I'm just marking the cardboard to where it was to. Did it a couple of times, and now it's got marks on it all the way around. So I just scribed it coming down like so. Hold that flat against this side here, and I scribed it. So now I get out, take this out now, and I can trim that up to that there, and I got my template. There, I got it all trimmed up. And now I got a template for my outer wheel tub. That's so much easier. I'm going to take that out now and put that on the metal and mark it out. So I went ahead and I laid the template on top of it, marked it out, got it all done. And then I realized that I'd done it on the backboard side. I got to roll all this the other way. It's only this much of it got to be rolled anyway. The whole work's got to be rolled, but it's a small piece, so it shouldn't be hard to work with. Oh my, but I don't get myself into. I'm going to go ahead now and get all that cut out. Won't bore you with that. It's just going to be me cutting and cutting and cutting, so there's no fanciness to this one. I'll get this piece cut out. Oh, before it goes any further, in here, I'm going to cut the line off. Out here, I'm going to leave the line. I want to leave a little bit here, so when I butt up against it, with the upper section, I got something to lay against, so that way I can weld to it, and then I can grind the back side of it off after. So I just want to point that out. I'll be cutting the line off it here and leaving it there. So I got it all cut out. Then I grinded it up. Then I went and bent it up, twisted it up so that it fit in the car. What's the chances of this just going in there and fitting like a glove? Slim and no chance, I'd say. Well, that's not bad for a first fit. She's a bit tight down here, and on here, down here, this side here. So I need to grind off these sides here a small bit, and let it fall down and relax a bit more. And this is a little tiny bit high right here, nothing serious. So I'm going to go ahead now, get all them grinded up, fit, and get this fitting nice. Bit of trimming over here, a small bit of trimming over here, and I got it all to fit in place there. And I got it just held just lightly with clamps out on the quarter panel itself. What I need to do now is, I'm going to say that bad word again, templates. I was going to make template for this piece right here now. That'll come out this way here and all the way around. I'll make it up in pieces, so because this here has a weird shape to it, and it's a lot easier to do it with templates than it is to try to do that rough hand. So this is the template video, I can tell you that now. I got it all marked here. I'm going to cut this off here on the outside edge, but I got the inside where I'm happy. There's a little spot there I don't like. I'm going to put a bit of tape on that. So I'll put a bit of tape there to mark that. But all the rest of it's good. So I'll take this out and get this trimmed off and get this all ready so it's all one piece. Then I'll do a quick test fit out once more. Try to do that freehand. You need a template for that. Just look at the shape that's in. Man, oh man. Anyway, I got it all made. I test fitted a couple times. It works good. So I'm going to turn around now and just cut that out. I'm going to cut the line off on both sides. Because what my plan is, this here now comes out right to the center of it. And I intend to move the actual wheel tub off the quarter panel a small bit. Right now I got it touching, it's permanently touching, but I'm going to move it off probably a quarter of an inch, if that, probably not even that. Just move it up so that it doesn't rub. And so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. So I got that all cut out. And now I'm just going to hand form it, get it into shape. I'm going to set this up here now, just have it so that it's got a curvature shape to it. And it's, I want to have it so that it's smaller, so that I got to pull it back into place. That'll hold it up in place better. So I'll get this all bent up, twisted up, see if I can get a clamp in place. That's not bad for a first fit. Got some trimming to do, nothing serious, just lay it back and some sanding to do. But I get that all trimmed up now and get that put back in there so I can get it welded on. And there we go. I got that all tackled in place there now. I'm going to go ahead and weld all this in here. I got some there that I don't like. I'm going to cut and draw them together more and tack weld them on better. Also, you can also see here now why I left a little bit extra. I'll grind all that off. All that'll be welded out there as well. So this will be like an inside corner piece here, and then it'll be an outside one. But this here will be a full section. I get that all welded. So I'm going to go ahead now, get the few things I gotta get done with this, cut, fit it, and I'll get this welded up. Get the outside grinded down and get that welded up and get that all grinded, so that way this section here will be done. Then all we gotta do is put the lip on. So I got it all welded up on the inside all the way around, and I cleaned it all up with the stone. Never got too carried away with it. I'll be putting the thing of seam sealer across there, keep the weather out of there, and then I just grind it off the back side. Had lots of penetration, so I never bothered to weld this. I just grinded it and grinded it smooth. You see the way it looks? Because I had penetration from the other side, I just cleaned it up all the way around there. So now it's got a nice edge all the way around. So that's another section of the wheel top done. What I got to do now is I got to put it back in the car, and I got to make this lip. So I got the wheel tub actually laid back in place again there now, and as you can see the way it's going to look in the car. I've got a couple of clamps put on it here now. What I need to do now is I got to build a piece to go in around here to put a lip on that there. Over here on the bench, I got a piece of steel that I cut off from part of it there. I'm going to take this here now and I'm going to trim that off there and see if that there will actually fit on the outside, and we'll see if I can get the actual lip from this piece of metal. Well now, all I did is just put it up there and I played with it for a bit and it fit in there. Easily enough. So I brought it out. My whole goal is here, I'm looking to get an edge here. I'm not worried about the inside yet, but as long as I've got something to follow this line here. So I took the marker now and marked down along there, marked the bottom side of it. I'm going to trim that off, that way I can put that on the inside of the lip and clamp it in place. But I'll probably come back about this far from it and trim it all off all the way down through it, just so I can handle it better. So I'll get that there trimmed off, and then that piece will be ready to install. You see the way the marker goes along the shape. Down here now, I'm just going to go straight down through here, because the way the panel is on the inside, it don't take that in. So I'll trim that off there. Other than that, the rest of it is best kind, so I'll get that trimmed off. I got another clamp used up, do I? We can see now where I got the lip put on, and I clamped it in place onto the actual quarter panel on the inside. I tapped it in as I went along, and I got it clamped all the way down along there, and it's tight on the inside there onto that panel there. I'm going to go in there now and put a few tacks all the way down through there, so I can take that panel out, and then I can weld all that up solid. Well, there's nothing easy about that. That was hard to get out. It is in there snug. The fitment is perfect, I can tell you that. But you can see now what I got done here. I got a lip done on the inside here now. I got to trim that up. I marked it where it's got to be trimmed up. You see it there now. All I needed was that little bit of lip. I'll be able to weld on the actual tub then to the factory, like on the wheel well where it would be too, and it gives strength to the wheel well as well. So I got that done. Then I got a tack welded in here is what I did. I got to do some tidying up out here with some of the edges and everything that I got done. I'm going to weld it on the inside and then grind it all up so that, you know, it feels in there, it feels nice and everything, right? And when I comes back, I'll have all that done. I'm not going to bore you with that. After doing a lot of welding, and this stuff is just generic. There's nothing fancy about this. This is a hard one to do because I'm constantly up and down off the floor here trying to get in and out of this thing. And I can tell you, I'm not videotaping myself crawling down there. I don't know if you've ever seen a beached whale. Well, that's what it's like, trying to me getting up off the floor. So, I'm going to go weld that up. And when he comes back, I'll have this all nice and pretty. And there you have it. I welded it on the inside here. I had to weld it on the outside down here because I couldn't get the welder in here on this edge here. And then I turn around and I grinded it all off. I cut this down where I marked it. There's still lots of meat there to do it. But I grinded this so that when you run your hand in along here like this here, you don't feel nothing, okay? This is a nice transition going along here. So it all looks good, right? As you can see, the way it's all welded in there. Okay? All the way around. Now I got a full outer wheel well. It's all made up. Now hopefully it's still going to fit. I have to go over and test fit this now. Let's see what it's like. And put the whole works together. This one and the inner well, and see what it looks like. So I got both of it, put the card in place. Now you can see the way this is working here now. This is out in the wheel well, and it's going to go up. The floor is going to be shaped like this here, going across here, and this will be a pocket down here. You can see the way it all fits against the quarter panel in there, and how the wheel well goes against it there. I'm happy with everything there. Much all the same up front here. Okay, all fits nice. So looking at it from inside here, everything fits good. I got vice grips put on it with a piece of plate on the outside pulling this in tight, okay? Going along here, you can see the way I got the gap right here. You can see a bit of a roll, then it fades away. I got to trim this off up here a small bit here. What I'm going to do here now is this here is going to be welded permanent to the inner well, this lip that's on here. So that'll be all done, cut, bought, dressed, and everything that'll be done there. This panel here, I'm going to spot weld it on down through here from inside here. The reason being, I can't put all this in one piece. This here has to go in, or this has to go in first. And I managed to get this in with this panel in place because I had this in a couple of times because I still got to tweak it a bit over here. See? Over here got to be tweaked a small bit. But you can see now, I'm going to have to trim this up here on top. It is too much of an overlap, so I'm going to have to trim a bit of this off down to about here. And same with over here. Going to have to be trimmed off down to about here, okay? That's what I'll have done, but I'm happy with it. This will be all welded on, then later on be spot welding through here. Don't mind this here overlap. I can grind that all off after. And it'll be spot welded up through here. And spot welded in through here. And then the front section here will be spot welded down through here. And that will cap all this off. This is all closed in then. And back here is the same thing again. This comes right on down to the bottom. It's going to be spot welded on in through here on the bottom. And it'll be spot welded up through here. That will complete the entire wheel tub. I'll seam seal it in here, down through here, okay? And I'll seam seal this inside corner, and then I'll seam seal this lip here. I'm trying to have it so I don't get a lot of smoke in the car. Some may be wondering, why didn't I turn all this in like I did with the outside one? The problem I'm having with these cars is that where I has a tire sitting in this car, the top of the tire is about right here somewhere. I don't want to have nothing interfering up here. If I had to put a roll on this here and roll this back into the car again, I probably would have had the tire rubbing there or probably up here somewhere. Okay, I want to have as much as I can possibly have on the outside because the tire is really, really tight to this quarter lip here, and I don't want to have no room for it to rub, okay? So I'm going to haul this out now and trim up this bit, and then I'm going to put this back in place, and I'm going to possibly put a few clecos in it so it has a home, so I knows where it got to go each time I put it back in her, and that will be it for that. So I went ahead and I marked the area when I got it out here, and you can see it fades out here. And it fades out over here. What I'll do now is I get zip blade now, and I'll trim all that off. So I went ahead and I trimmed off this section here. Then I went and cleaned up the inside here, and then I went and put some holes in it with the hole punch. These will be the spot welds that will hold this section of the panel in place. I'm going to go over now and test fit it just to make sure I'm happy with it one last time. So I have this one all back in place again. You can see now where the plug welds are going to go. Everything's fitting really nice. I'm very pleased with that there. So now I got everything made for this wheel tub completely inside and out. Inside here, on the inside of the quarter panel, there's a bit of a gap. I'm going to leave that there. I don't want the actual inner wheel tub touching the actual quarter panel completely. It's touching down the bottom here and on the wheel well and stuff like that, but when it gets up in the higher sections of the quarter, there's a gap all the way around. That's the way I wanted to have it. The reason for that is vibration. I don't want the two metals rubbing off each other and wearing through and probably like damaging the outside the quarter panel or whatnot. So just a little tiny bit of a gap there. So here I got the three sections laid out on the floor, okay? This one and this one here I'll make as one eventually, okay? And then of course then is the outer well. Reason why I'm not doing anything else with this right now, I'm not going to weld this together, is I want to use this now to make the other side. I'm going to duplicate this here to make the other side. I want to keep this apart. I can use it for measurements and everything. I'm trying to make the other side look the same as this side here. So I'm going to use all this here as templates to make the other side. Not only that, I got some things, all this floor sections has got to be built first and installed before I can put the wheel tubs in, because I want that to weld in behind the wheel tubs. That's got to be done. Also out here on the outer wheel well, this out here now, where I done the metal work, where I stretched the quarter and all that type of stuff, it's all welding. I want to seam seal all this, and I want to paint everything in here and undercoat it, okay? Put it like a rock guard, you know, type of finish, bed liner type finish on it. I want to do that there, and also this here as well. I want to do this as well. The problem you got is once I get this all put in there, I'm not going to be able to get in there no more. So any bare metal or anything is going to be there. So I want to try to get all this painted and get some protection on it for when I weld it in the car, that I haven't got to worry about it after the fact. It's all finished and done, and there's no bare metal in between the two panels. So I got it all mocked together here, so you can actually see what it looks like from the back side when it's put together. You can see everything here now. The way this here will be mounted in the car. This will be out flush to the quarter panel. Okay. Some of you may be wondering about how actually big this tub is. Well, I can tell you right now, I can put a 14-inch wide tire on this if I want to. Okay. Now you need still a little bit of room, so you can get it. Like you get a 12 in there, no problem. 13-inch tire if I want to. Right. There's not an issue with that there, but that's the distance I got there from this lip here to, say, the frame rail in the car. Right. So what I got to do now is I got to start working on building the other wheel tub. This is where I'm going to end this one here, because I got to use this one here for a template for the other side. Any questions you have, just, you know, feel free to ask and stuff like that. Like some may say it would have been nice if I rolled off these edges here, stuff like that. But I found that it's a lot of work to try to get this here and this here to go as one, okay? I don't want to put too much time in this. I was more concerned about this here. When I get the brace and everything put in the back side of this car here, on the other side that goes in the trunk, you're only going to see a small bit of this, and when it's all painted black, it's going to be hard to see. You'll see this will jump right out at you, the actual tub itself. I wanted to have as much tire clearance in here as I possibly can. If I rolled any of this off here, there would have been the chances that I could have like rubbed tires in this section here. This here will be spot welded onto the wheel lip going all the way around. Then I'll trim this off. I might dress it back a bit and then take another 1/4 inch or so out of the high side here, so there's more room for a tire on this side here. But right now I think my tires on this here sit, like the outside tire is probably there, and so there's lots of room. But I'll be trimming this off so it's an actual even wheel well all the way down through there, okay? But anyway, this is where I'm going to leave this one here. This is how I made wheel tub for Krusty. I just got to install it, but I got to do all the floor work first, and I got to build the other tub. Anyway, I hope the tips are good, and until next time.